Today I want to work on a quick, hopefully quick project. I'm thinking about a loose weave cardigan just made out of like rectangles. So it's like quick and easy. I just want to get into the machine, get knitting and make something, and hopefully we can spend a few minutes working on our projects together. This is this is the yarn that I'm working with. It's this beautiful moss green shiny yarn. I've had it for years now. I got it a while back in one of my favorite stores, yarn shops, and it is a very thick actually for the machine. This is viscose, and because it's very thick for the machine, I didn't really get to using it, but I have found out a nice way of using it, and that would be a very open weave, something similar to what I did in my rose New Year's dress, where I do the lathering effect for every other needle. So it's a very open knit, but with this yarn that's actually even chunkier. I have not done a tension swatch, so I have not actually calculated a pattern, but I did try and start this project yesterday, and I just winged in like 120 rows, and once I leathered it out, it was huge, like gigantic. So I had to unravel all of it. So now I have a rough estimate of how many rows I have to knit based on yesterday's fail. So my idea is to do 5 panels, 2 for the sleeve, 1 for the back, and 2 for the front, and then attach them by the shoulders, and then these where the sleeves will be. And if I have enough yarn, I was thinking that maybe it'd be nice to add a hood, and if that happens, I actually don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't think I've ever knit a hood. So if I have yarn for that, I'll think about that when it gets to that, but that's not now. I don't know if you can hear, but the world is very noisy. I just kind of am treating this like a vlog, a little bit more casual, see what happens. I also have this fun camera going on. My mom has this like DJI Pocket Osmo, I think. Yeah, Osmo, I can read it here. And she's had it for ages and she never used it. And she's like, oh, I'm going on a trip soon. Like, you should learn how to use it and tell me how to use it so I can use it myself. I was like, yes, of course. I can use it to teach you to use it. But yeah, this is really fun. It like moves with me. And I've only ever used a phone camera to film all of my videos. This phone here to film all of my videos, so I don't know how this is gonna work. Also, I can look at myself, so I know what I'm filming. I know I'm in frame and the camera actually follows me now. I never actually know if I'm on frame because I film with the back camera, so I never know like what I'm filming when I'm the one in the camera. I don't think you care about this. Let's just do this. I'll try to like just record everything that I'm doing. So if you have a knitting machine, you can have an idea of how to make one for yourself as well. Sort of like a loose tutorial, but I've never done this before, so it's my first time doing it. It's not actually a tutorial because I cannot like foresee anything happening. But yeah, I just want to minimal plans. I just want to make a little video, have some fun knitting with you guys. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and throughout the video, even now, comment whatever you want to say. It's nice to have some comments. It's good for the algorithm. Yeah, let's go. Okay, first thing that I'm doing is I'm selecting all needles but every other needle. So using this, I'm doing every other needle throughout the whole thing, okay? And that's for the back panel. Okay, so I have all 200 needles selected, but it's actually every other needle, so it's like 100. And now I'll cast them on. I I do the E-wrap, so it's basically holding your yarn here on the left and E-wrapping like a cursive E to the right. Now just I'll wrap the carriage right here. I take it off when I'm using the whole machine because just find it easier. And then I will put the thing here. And I'm using tension 10 because this yarn is actually very thick for the knitting machine, so I'm just helping it. That's also why I'm using every other needle, because the yarn is so thick. It is not made for the machine, so the carriage has a hard time picking it up and knitting, and that leads to the yarn being broken, especially because this is a viscose yarn that is made in like those chains instead of the twisting around method for the actual manufacturer of the yarn. So that yarn I have noticed throughout my years of making knitting, this kind of yarn usually snaps easier in the machine than just normal twisted yarn. So this is why I'm using every other needle and using the tension 10. Since I'm using the whole machine, I am using my ruler. I don't usually like using this ruler just because she is very flimsy and like broken. Sometimes using her is actually not good, and she just makes things go wrong sometimes because she's so warped. I'll straight away add the weights. I'll zero in the counter and start knitting. I don't know what's happening. I think it's, I don't know. Oh my god. Okay. I think it was the comb. As I said, it gives me issues because I think the cart is on the right position. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, everything seems to be going okay. I have one skipped stitch here in the border. Okay, everything's good. So oh no. See, the comb didn't pick up this part here. It's okay, I'll take off this comb because it's stuck somewhere. I think it's here and it's not functioning. Okay. I'm actually gonna bring all these forward. The good thing with this yarn is that it's not like a very slippery yarn. So usually if there's a mistake, I can pick it up and just keep on going. So I just have to pick up those two. I hope you can see what's happening because the little viewfinder is quite small. Let me just pick these ones up. Okay. This one, and then can you tell the stitch is actually quite small, even though I'm using a tension 10. Usually if I'm using a thinner yarn, like what's made for this machine, and I use a tension 10, the stitches will be enormous. They'll be very long, but because this yarn is thick for this machine, the stitches themselves are actually quite small. I'll just add the weights straight to the piece. There's something stuck right here. Okay. Oh, piece of lint. Great. Okay, it's all out. That could have been dangerous. The thing that holds my machine in the table fell. So yeah, it's just knitting back and forth for a few rows. Okay guys, so I knit 80 rows and this is the back panel, so the long panel that's gonna go on the back. Seems pretty small because it is right now, but based on yesterday's mishap, this will be more than enough for a decent length on the back. Again, I did not do my calculations. I usually like to be very, very thorough with my calculations to make my patterns. But today I decided to just wing it and just try and do something more chill. So right now what I'll do, so I already have only every other needle kneading. And what I'll do is I'll take out every other needle from the needles that are kneading out of working position, and that will open up the weave, creating that like very loose mesh effect that I want. As you can see, the weave is pretty open. This is how it looks on the knit side. When you knit with every other needle, the knit itself isn't actually more loose, it's actually less stretchy because all of these lines were supposed to be another stitch that would be stretchier, but because I took every other needle, they are less stretchy because it's just a line, like a little lettering here. And what I'll do is I'll take out every other stitch here, so that will create an even looser effect because all of these stitches that are forming the full stitch, so they're going all the way around the needle and all the way to the other stitch, they're going to get loose. So the amount of yarn that's going to be released from taking these stitches out is a lot bigger than just the leathering. Every time that I've posted a reel or a video making this sort of textile that I'm going to do now, people ask if it's not easier to just knit with every other needle just like I did here, and no, the answer is no, because the effect is different. This one creates stiffer, less stretchy knit with a little bit of a loose effect, like an open up weave. But what I'm going to do now is like even bigger, even like flowier and just meshier. The actual knit a lot more looser because this doesn't create a loose knit, it just creates space in between the knitted stitches. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too convoluted, but let's do this because that's very satisfying actually. Okay, so I select, oops, every other needle like this, just manually. Oops, 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 oops. And once I select them all, I just come here and bring them all back. Just bring them back. And with this, they are loose. Because this is a stiffer, thicker yarn, they are not just coming undone right away. With other yarns, they would come undone right away. But now they just keep still for a little while. And then when I pull it, they will come undone, which is actually nice for the satisfactory pull that I'll do in just a second once I'm finished doing this all the way to the end. Okay, so I took every other needle out of working position. Now I will just pull this and it will unravel every other stitch. When it's like towards the end, it is a little harder. The first few stitches are the hardest. Where the cast on is, it's just harder. So these ones I do pull sideways because they're so hard to actually get unraveled. I am now casting off with my normal method, but it is a little bit harder because I'm not used to this, like this much dragging the yarn, so I have to pick up the yarn and like drag it all the way to the other needle, which is like skipping 3 needles, and I need to ideally pick up the yarn behind the little poles of the machine, like this little thingies, and sometimes that just doesn't happen, which is annoying. Let's go. No! Okay, so casting off is very challenging. And this is it. My only problem with this technique is I feel the stitches get a little uneven because there's just like, it's all skipped stitches and all that. So this is the first panel. This is the biggest panel for the back. It's quite long. See, it's gonna be like long. I just saw it now. It is a little bit pointy. I'll see if that gets resolved by ironing, or maybe if I just pull it like this. I'll try and figure something else so it's not so pointy. This is the biggest panel. This is the back panel, and essentially now I will repeat what I did for this 4 more times, but in different scales. So this one was the whole machine, so technically 200 needles, but then I took every other one out, so 100 needles, but with the space of 200 needles, and I did 80 rows for this. So I will do 2 panels for the front, and that are half of that, so each will be 100 needles in the machine. Then I'll take off every other one, and I will do also 80 rows. And then for the sleeves, I want to do, I think, 120 needles and then take them all off. And I think I'll probably do something like 60 rows, and then I'll pull them all just like I did with this one. So I'll do all of that, and then we will just assemble everything. Hey guys, so as I knit the other panels, the one thing that I did differently from the back panel that I just showed you is I started to use a waste yarn here, this blue yarn, to cast off. So instead of casting on like I did in the back panel, I used this other yarn. I knit a few rows like I'm doing here, and then I just took it out of the machine without casting it off. So this holds the actual piece, and then I will just take it off as I attach it to the other panel. You see it. Hi guys. Oh my god. Why are you not facing me? Okay. Hi guys, so I just came here to show you my sleeve. First of all, I came here to tell you that I procrastinated a lot, and then I got to hi, why are you okay? Then I got to knitting. I actually procrastinated so much that I did a swatch. No, you lost me. I'm having trouble. Find me. See me. Please see me. See, I am here. Please don't go away. What do you want me to do? I don't know how to do this. I'm here. As I was saying, I procrastinated so much that I actually even did another swatch for another project. I'm thinking about like fingerless, like little mittens, like gloves with just like not the finger part, so maybe stay tuned for that. And then I got back to it and I went ahead and knit the front panel, one of the front panels, and as I was unraveling the second front panel, one yarn snapped in like as I was unraveling it. I don't know if it was force, like the force that I was doing to unravel it, or if it was something off like the yarn, maybe a factory knot or a fragile spot in the yarn that made it snap as I pulled it. But it snapped. I just didn't want to have that like snapped yarn. I don't know how many rolls it took off, like it would look strange. So I just decided to unravel that, and I re-knit the other front panel, and then I went straight ahead for the sleeve. And I still have, this is like part of the unraveled front panel. I will use this and the other piece of yarn that I had in a cake to finish off the second sleeve. But look at this. This is 60 rows, and this is the sleeve. Like, this is so little. Imagine, this is a cuff. Like, this will be the full sleeve. I just turned on the camera to show you this because, oh my god, this will be like a full sleeve. Let's, like, do it, I guess. I don't know how this camera will function. I'll just take off these. My weights keep falling and it's so frustrating because a bunch of them are brand new. Oh my god, you're losing me, you're losing me. You're losing me, not my ass, me, my face. Okay. It's actually hard too because she's not following just me, she's following my face. So I just need to keep looking at the camera, but I need to look at the machine. I'll just do this really quick. Hi, I'm back. Look at me. Look at me. See my face? Okay, let's go. No! I was distracted, guys. I did one wrong and I went to redo it. I can't believe I did this. I'll actually even stop. I can't believe. Oh my god, a little bit of distraction, I made it all wrong. That's so infuriating. Look at this. Can you see? You can see, it's very obvious. Oh, you can't see because it just focused me. Oh my god, I'm actually annoyed by this. Look. I accidentally picked two needles side by side and took out the needles that are not those. So I will redo this and knit the other sleeve and I'll actually go to sleep because I went to sleep earlier today because I'm actually quite tired. And then tomorrow I will do join all of the pieces and do some final touches. And yeah, I'll see you in just a second with all of the pieces knitted, but it will be tomorrow. Hey, so day 2 of making this simple cardigan. Here I'm working on the sleeves that I didn't do on the last day because I had the mishap and everything. I actually did 54 rows for the sleeves. That's because one of the yarn tangled and then it snapped, and then I had a piece of yarn that I could use and it was exactly 54 rows. That's what I did for both sleeves. And these are the panels knit, so we have 5 panels, the back, 2 fronts, 2 sleeves. This is how it looks just held against the camera. And by the way, guys, I'm just doing voiceover because the world was so noisy that day. There were so many constructions going on. I hate being this person talking about like the noise, but I was actually so overstimulated I had to use headphones throughout all of this. And here what I'm doing is stitching everything in place. So as you saw in the last clip that I was talking over, I'm attaching the back panel and then the 2 front panels to the back panel on the top. Here I'm taking off the cast off of the back panel and attaching just the stitches to the machine, skipping every other needle just like I knit it. And I am doing this front side facing me. So usually when you knit, the front part, like the knit side, is facing the back of the machine. So you're looking at the back side of the fabric, the purl side. Here I'm attaching the back panel front facing me. I did struggle through it a little bit. As you can see, this is very sped up because I am unraveling the cast off and trying to attach the stitches directly to the needles. I just, faced the problems as I got to them and picked up the stitches as I went, but this is what I did. And then I got the front panels and put them on the machine on top of the back side. And now the front panels are facing, the back side is facing me and the front part is facing the machine. So the back side and the front side are right sides faced together, like right sides matching. So yeah, like I'm doing a seam, so I'm seaming them right sides together, wrong sides out. And I did run through some issues. I think mainly the issue here was that I starting in this side that I started on, the waist yarn was very loose, so it did like give me a little bit of trouble, especially in the beginning here. But as you see towards the end of the panel and on the other panel as well, it was much easier doing this process. I think it's just how the waist yarn was, holding the piece. See, like this is a lot faster and I'm doing the exact same thing. It's just I think a tension thing towards the end of the panel on that other side. Here I'm just fixing these mistakes that happen as I attached the panel to the machine. I'm just kind of pretty much doing this last stitch that came loose, doing it again, just making sure that I'm not fully knitting through the back panel. Here I'm just knitting the front panel and keeping the back panel and the front panel all on the needles. And here I'm straight away attaching the other side, the other front panel to the back. I didn't do anything. I just added the back panel, added one front panel, and now I'm adding the other front panel to the other side, all facing right sides together. So I'm looking at the back side of the front panel and the right side of the back panel. And here I am casting it all off. So I'm using the same technique that I used for the first back panel, but now it's just all of them together. And I'm basically using the latch hook, putting it on the needle, making sure that the latch is open on the needle, but then it closes as I pull it back. Both
front panel and back panel are on the latch hook, and then I pick up the yarn from the back. I try to do that around the little poles of the machine. Can you see here? I'm struggling to do that. I'm going back to make sure that the yarn is picked up back in those like little poles, see, so that the piece gets held in the machine and doesn't like unstretch and like get pulled in different directions. Here I can keep the tension and the yarn amount pretty consistent throughout the whole thing, and it keeps like a seamless thing, like a seamless stitch, I guess. And I'm trying to make sure, like, as I pick up the yarn on the back, the latch hook has to close around the yarn. And it's a little bit finicky, but this is how I usually do my cast off. It's just a little harder like this because of the amount of space in between the needles. And this is the piece all stitched up, like the front panels and the back. And this is how the seam looks on the front side. And this is how it looks on my body. It's still looking very thinny, like a thinid. Doesn't really look like a cardigan yet because the pieces do roll in quite a bit still, but this is how it's looking at the moment. And the next step will be to attach the sleeve at the shoulders, so attaching the sleeve panels to this main panel before closing it all. This is how the sleeve's going to be, added. And here's how it's going to fit. I'm just like trying it on before I have it finished. Oh, and I did do some weaving in of loose ends at this point, especially because I had very little yarn left. So I was thinking that maybe I would have to use a few of this like loose ends as just like stitching yarn. So here I'm like very loosely weaving them in. And now I'm attaching the sleeve to the main panel, and I attached the sleeve first to the needles like we just did with the other panels. And so the right side facing me, wrong side facing outward, right side facing me. And I'm going to take off the waste yarn, and this was actually very, very hard. The way that I put the stitches on the machine for this sleeve here was wrong somehow, and this is sped up by 1,500 times. So this was very slowly done, and it was actually a big trouble. I hadn't had this much trouble yet, so this was very time consuming for no reason because I just did it in the wrong way, and I lost a stitch there, fix it up. And now I will put the main panel, like the front and the back panel, to like attach it to the sleeve, right sides facing together. So now I'm looking at the back side of the main front and back panels, and I attached them by the middle. So I used the seam that I had just done and attached that to the center of this sleeve panel, and then I go from one side and then to the other side, attaching the stitches here. And this is very like randomly done. I didn't really know how to do it because now we're not working with the stitches but with the sides, so like the rows, and that's kind of very loose. So I just kind of randomly stretched the main piece, like the front and the back panels, to the sleeve, kind of sensed how much I was going to put, like where I was going to attach them to the needles, not necessarily like every stitch per row, but just like I just sensed a space in which I would like knit them. And see, this is not sped up. This is how long the second sleeve took. See, it was very simple. It was not supposed to be that hard as it was in the first sleeve because I held the waist stitches up instead of the other way that I did the first sleeve, so that was wrong. Oh, and here I had a lost stitch, like a drop stitch from the front panel. I just picked it up with the latch hook, tried to do it very loosely, and I actually held this stitch with a stitch marker. And as I cast off here, I'm casting off the sleeve and the front and back panels. I will then, when I reach the middle there, I will grab that lost stitch that I just picked up and like stitch it within the cast off here. It was a bit finicky, but that's what I did just randomly. So I used the cast off yarn to do this in no particular fashion. I just kind of used the needle here and stitched it in place. And then I continue casting off. Here I'm pretty sure I used another piece of yarn because the yarn I was using to cast off was just like a piece left from the sleeve, and now I was using another piece of yarn to finish it all. And this is how it looks, like all the pieces attached to each other. And this is what we're gonna do now. So we're folding the front pieces to the back and the sleeves on themselves halfway, in half, and we're going to be stitching this L here from this L shape from the bottom of the front and back towards the sleeve, all in one seam. I actually did them separately because here, as you can see, I tried to do it with a needle, and then I actually tried to use the crochet hook to stitch it in place, but this wasn't working out. I usually stitch by hand. Anything that I do, like the side seams, I usually do them by hand with an invisible knitting stitch, but that just wasn't working here because of the looseness of it all. So I just decided to do what I have been doing for the shoulders and to attach the sleeves. I added them all to the machine and did the cast off. Here I began by adding like the front and the back, like the two seams together with the transfer tool, but that wasn't really working out because there's one side that is a lot looser than the other, even though they were the same. Like this is the sleeve, so I just did them at the same time. There was still one side that was looser, so because of that I stretched out as much as I could the part that was less loose, like the piece that was just like smaller technically, I guess, and then I reached that with the looser part, trying to maintain them correct, like looking good.
First try on with it all seamed. I'm actually really excited. I've been wanting to do something like this for so long, but it did take me longer than I wanted it to, I'm not gonna lie. That's actually so nice. I like it. I was thinking, I have to obviously weave in this ends. I have this much yarn left. Maybe I should cake this just to see how much it actually is. Today I spent like literally 1 hour unraveling one of the pieces that I did wrong because it got all tangled. I think like it was the one piece that the yarn ripped. So like when the yarn ripped, it started unraveling in a weird way that knotted up everything. So as I tried to do just this, which is very easy, fast, and nice, it wouldn't do it because it started getting all tangled up. So I had to hand like unravel it and ball up to use it to make this sleeve, which was very annoying and took me an hour. I think actually a little over an hour, I'm not gonna lie, but everything else was okay. The sewing did take some time, but it's done. Okay, so this is how much yarn I have left from that cone. So after I weave in the ends, I will try and crochet a hem just for this bit, like this and all the way around, all the way here. Not the bottom, not the sleeves, because I know I'm not gonna have enough yarn for that. But hopefully I'll have enough for this area. I just want like maybe 2 rows of a single crochet. So that like done on the right side so that it doesn't roll in this much. And then if I have yarn left over, which I probably won't, it would be nice to do like a 9 cord and like be able to do a little bow on the front just through the weave of the knit, just like a little bow here. It would be really cute, but I don't think I will have enough yarn for that if I do the crochet edge, which I actually want to do more than the bow. That's what I'll do right now and it will be done. Hi guys, so we have a finished product. Here it is. And it's basically the exact same thing you just saw that I showed you, but with the loose ends cut. So I did try to do a crochet hem all around the edge like I just told you I would, but I just wasn't figuring it out. It wasn't really working with the small crochet hook, and then the bigger one would look strange. It wouldn't make much sense unless I think I did like 3 or 4 single crochets for each stitch of the loose knit. In that case, I think it would work, but I don't know if it would look good because it would be a heavy stitch, because a heavy set of stitches on top of like one loose thread that makes the knit. So I didn't thought that was gonna work, so I just left it like that. And really, now that it has all been stitched and it's loose, I don't see a problem with it without a crochet hem like I thought I would have. The one thing that I did with the little bit of yarn I had was 2 little I-cords. They're kind of very thick. I did skip the stitches, so I did 4 stitches, but like with a needle skipped in between of them. And then I just did the I-cord in the knitting machine, and I can use them to like close them. It's really cute. When I finished it, I did try it on with 2 dresses, one a little too short, and the second is like my favorite dress that I bought at a charity shop ages ago that has some green details here, so it looks really nice. This cardigan looks really nice with that dress, and I'm very happy about that because that is my favorite dress. And I just always layer it with whatever, just because like on summer I just wear it as is, but now I can wear it with this, and it's amazing. I'm so happy about that. The shades match perfectly, like this shade with the details. And now I just try it on with these pants and shirt that I'm wearing because it's very cold. It's actually cold right now. I'm not well covered, and it's not sunny, so there's no sun to counterbalance the cold, and I don't want to put dresses on because I'm feeling cold. But like better. I don't like this. I'm too centered. I need to be a little bit more down. Okay, I think you can see it now. Yeah, I think so. So this is what it looks like. After I stitched it all in place, I feel like it has worked itself out. Like it's like stretched out and in, and like it's not feeling too snug here because I was having a problem because it was all smushing in and it was barely a thing. It was so small and narrow. Now that I've worn it a few times and like stretched it out, it's good. It does have these 2 points mainly because the other ones were counterbalanced by the stitching on the side. These ones are just pointy. I don't particularly see as a problem now that I've been wearing it a little bit, but I feel like it's not for everyone, as well as the loose ends here. I'm usually not a raw edge rolling in hem kind of girl. I usually like to do a folded over hem, as you guys know, but for this one I feel like it comes with like the territory of this kind of knit, loose knit, to just have it like rolling in a little bit. This is what like creates the so-called hem in this like loose end here. It just rolls in a little bit, not too much. And on the bottom, as you can see, is just like the E-wrap after I let loose the stitches. I don't have a problem. My main problem is with this seam right here, this one. As I stitched it, I think it opened up a little bit too much on this part, but it's something that I'll just have to get used to. It's not bothering me too much, but every time I watch the video, I kind of get a little bit annoyed by it. And with the I-cord, I can just choose how much I want it open. Like with the dresses, I wore it a little bit up here, so it would match with the neckline of the dresses. With this outfit, I can choose to put the tie a little lower here, so it covers my midriff. And I just kind of weave it through the any of the knits, right? The stitches. And just on the other side,
like this and do a little bow. And now it has like a little, actually, never mind that. I want to do it without the first knot because it gets too bulky. So just the bow with no knot. That's what I meant. Okay, that's better. Less bulky. Like this. See? It's, I think, cute. Like I can choose where I put this. So it's very, it's nice, I guess, for layering. I can choose how I position my little bow, so the back, and then I can put another one if I want. I can just do like a two little bow situation. I've been seeing some tops that have this kind of two bow situation, mostly like just like tank tops, I guess, like small tops, but it looks nice, I guess, with a cardigan as well, like this layered little bow situation. I'm very pleased with it. I can put my thumbs through the knit because I always like the thumb situation. And yeah, I actually feel like I'm gonna wear this a lot. Oh, and if I don't want to use the bow on here, I can put it on my hair as well, like one bow here and one bow in the back in my hair. So I think that's cute. And yeah, this is it. I'm so pleased with this. I feel like I'm gonna wear it a lot as layering piece when it's not too hot, not too cold. As much as I love taking time and pattern making for my pieces, something like this, it will be one of my most worn pieces that I knit myself, because when I take time to do a pattern and think of a concept, they're usually more just like intricate pieces that I end up using less and having less places to wear it at. I also don't go out that much, so this is a lot like something that I can wear. I mean, I can wear anything I want at home, but it's just something that I can pick up and put on. For some of my other pieces, they're more like going out stuff, or like something that I like to show off as I go out, but I don't go out that much. So, but anyway, I think I'm gonna wear this a lot. I did try and treat this more as a tutorial in a way. Like I tried to show better what I do as I did it. Of course, I didn't know the exact way that it was going to turn out, but I hope this is helpful if you want to make something like this, or to inspire you to knit something like this, even if it's not like in the machine, or maybe crochet something. Or I hope it was good time spent watching this video. And yeah, I hope you liked it and you enjoyed your time watching it. If you can, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video. Is there anything you'd like to say about this top, how you like it, how you dislike it? If you like to make something with this technique or along those lines, of course you can just use this construction to make a normal cardigan, not with the leathering, like loose stitches, but for that you have to do a lot more rows, because this turned out so much bigger than what you initially knit. But yeah, this is it. I am happy with this. As I said, like, subscribe, consider commenting on the video, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye bye.